We have very few partners, but we have very deep relationships with the partners that we have. So we believe in less partners, deeper relationships. And so it's worked really well for us. The other thing that we've learned, which is sort of interesting, it might be interesting to the readers, it may not. When you start to deploy new technology and new innovations around the technological space, right, in our industry, what we've learned is there's lots of people out there that have solutions looking for a problem. And there's very few people who want to dig in, understand your problems, and find a solution to fix it. There are very few of those people, because starting with finding the problem first means you've got to dig, and you've got to turn over rock after rock after rock looking for the problems in the health system. And then once you've found the problems and you've clearly defined what the problems are and validated that it's a problem, then you got to go out and find the solution. Takes a lot of work, takes a lot of discipline, takes a lot of focus. That's what we do. We start with the problem, and then we go find the solution. Palantir is a great example of that. The reason Palantir came into our lives is they approached us and said, give us one of your biggest problems. If we can solve it, hire us. If we can't, no harm, no foul, we'll go away. It was a nurse scheduling and staffing issue. We identified the problem, validated that it was a real problem. They spent a few weeks diagnosing it and fixing it, and they fixed the problem. They did it quickly, they did it efficiently, and they were very practical in their approach. But it started with falling in love with the problem and then finding the solution. That is really difficult work, and it's the less exciting work. So that's why people get all spun up and enamored about a solution, and then they go off trying to solve somebody's problem. Wrong way to do it, in our opinion. Why do we know that? Well, because we've learned the hard way. We did it both ways. And we learned that falling in love with your problems first, a better approach than falling in love with the solution and then hunting for a problem.